How's life living in a jungle? It's your friendly neighbourhood ranting Aussie. You know the old saying, when chickens come to roost? Well, guess what, Mr. America or Ms. America or whatever you want to be called, it's occurring to you and you don't like it. Let's be honest. Russia apparently hacked your election and caused some amount of possibly small, minuscule change of thought in somebody's mind because of the DNC leaks. You've been doing this for fucking years to other countries. In fact, you have been doing this for so long that I think you've forgotten that you do it. Shall we start with the 1976 election in Iraq, shall we? How you influenced that and got the Ba'athist Party in, led by a certain Saddam Hussein. Oh, do you remember doing that, Mr. America? How about the fact that you didn't like what he was doing and ultimately in the end you got rid of him in 2002? You guys did that. You got rid of Saddam Hussein. You found him. And then you handed him over to the Iraqis and the Iraqis put him on a noose. How about Gaddafi? You aided and abetted the rebels in Libya who got rid of Gaddafi. Well, that kind of rings a bell. You know, you guys have been doing this for fucking years. And the minute somebody comes along, supposedly, we still haven't got the evidence, mind you, and says, oh, these guys affected our election by showing the people that the DNC are, leaders of the DNC are a bunch of corrupt assholes. Well, next thing you know, it's on. Well, your chickens have come home to roost, America. And for all these people that hate Russia for doing this, if they indeed did it, guess what? You're a hypocrite. Big hypocrite. Now, let's talk a little bit about why Hillary Clinton, the DNC, and George W. Bush and all those other people had a huge interest in possibly going to war with Russia over Syria. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, but America is rather imperialistic, especially when it comes to hegemony over countries in the Middle East. Let's face it, he who controls the oil controls the world's energy. And guess what? America has hegemony over the Middle East. Whether you look at the deals they have with Saudi Arabia, or the fact that they keep hammering Iraq and pretty much own now its oil fields between the corporations, whether it be, you know, putting Iran in severe fear with their whole, we will kick your ass with our massive military might, Iran, if you don't settle down, to sanctions that they put pretty much liberally everywhere. They have complete hegemony over the Middle East. Russia's coming along now, and a little country called Syria, who they're very friendly with, the Assad regime. Now, I have no love for the Assad regime, or Russia. But here's the thing. Russia are setting themselves up to become, once again, a world superpower. How are they doing this? By becoming very friendly with Middle Eastern nations. For example, Syria, where they have gone, oh, it's okay, we'll come in and we'll help you out, Mr. Assad. We'll kick ISIS's ass to the curb, which they've done. Well, the other countries have noticed this, and they're getting tired of America. I mean, you know, you look at the pushback against America in the Middle East, it's insane. You know, with ISIS and Al-Qaeda in the early 2000s and the Taliban as well, they're very much hated in the Middle East. So you've got this whole element of America starting to lose its grip and its power over the Middle East, and that is being taken over by Russia, which of course scares the living shit out of America. But there's a third little twist in this tale as well. Hillary Clinton makes a lot of money out of the Clinton Foundation, and a lot of that money comes from the Middle East. For example, last year, Bill Clinton was gifted $1 million on his birthday by the government of Qatar for the Clinton Foundation. If Russia starts taking hegemony over and above America in the Middle East, then they lose a lot of money, as do the Bushes. One of the reasons George Bush, who's an absolute mad Republican, would even think about supporting Hillary Clinton. He's in the oil game. He stands to lose everything. So do all the other Bushes, by the way. They start losing the money because the black gold suddenly leaves them for the Russian counterparts in the industry. So if we want to look at why America is button heads with Russia, that's the reason why. Now, I would hope that Donald Trump wouldn't be too concerned about this, and if I were Donald Trump, I'd be looking to become allies at the very least. Well, probably that's as far as you could go, to be quite honest, with a communist country like Russia. Become allies with them. But you know what, if the Middle East disappears, that's fine. There's a closer source of oil, not just within America itself, in the shale. There's Venezuela. It's on a huge oil reserve. Venezuela's not that far from a North American. So why don't they just use Venezuela? It makes sense, doesn't it? Of course it makes sense. Get out of Saudi Arabia and all those other places, and that also gives Trump then the ability that once America starts not relying so much on oil from the Middle East or America, then that gives them permission to go hell for leather on these Islamic nations that actually support the terrorist organizations. This will have a massive effect. It's happened before. For example, slavery in the Middle East. If it wasn't for America putting a hell of a lot of economic pressure on those countries in the Middle East, for example, Saudi Arabia, they wouldn't have stopped slavery. So that would be my hope, and if I was Donald Trump, that's what I'd be looking to do. Not so much worry about the oil in the Middle East, you can get it from Venezuela. Rather, looking at this as an opportunity to actually quell the sectarian violence and Islamic violence coming from those regions of the world. Anyway, there's some thoughts. So guess what? Fuck you. You're fucked and fuck off. I'm the Aussie Ranter. I'll catch you good folk later. Hooroo. G'day guys, it's the Ranting Aussie. Hey, did you like this video? Comment down below. Like the video? Share? And most importantly, subscribe. I'll catch you later.